Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's latest update on tomorrow's dangerous severe weather threat. So, the Storm Prediction Center is maintaining the two moderate risks of severe weather for tomorrow, one across eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and the northeastern corner of Missouri, and the other across northeastern Arkansas, the boot heel of Missouri, southwestern corner of Kentucky, far western Tennessee, and the northwestern corner of Mississippi in the two red areas tomorrow. In the moderate risk, we got Jackson, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee. And in the enhanced risk, we got Little Rock, Arkansas, Jefferson City, Missouri, Hannibal, Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, bordering on Des Moines, Iowa. We got Evansville, Indiana, Nashville, Tennessee, and Greenville, Mississippi. We got a slight risk in the yellow, extending into the central and eastern Tennessee Valley, western Ohio Valley, and marginal risk in the dark green. So looking at the latest tornado threat, has increased since this morning's update. We now have a 15% significant chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location across east central Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and far northeastern Missouri in this red area tomorrow, and a 15% chance of tornadoes touching down within 25 miles of a location across northeastern Arkansas, the boot heel of Missouri, the southwestern corner of Kentucky, and far western Tennessee and northwest Mississippi in the two red areas tomorrow, and this includes Jackson, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee. If you live in these two red and yellow areas, you need to be preparing now for dangerous tornadoes in your area, several dangerous tornadoes. And we could be seeing several strong to violent EF2 to EF5 tornadoes in these areas tomorrow. So make sure that you have your tornado shelter plan in place. Make sure if you're able to get to an underground shelter that you have that option available, because we could be dealing with tornadoes very, very dangerous tomorrow. 10% chance in the yellow, 5% chance in the brown, 2% chance in the green. In the yellow, we got Little Rock, Hannibal, Springfield, and Peoria. Looking at the damaging wind threat, we got a 45% chance of damaging straight line winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger within 25 miles of a location across eastern Iowa, far northwestern Illinois, far northeastern Missouri in the pink, a very large 30% chance in the red, and we got two hatched areas tomorrow, meaning that some of these wind gusts in these hatched areas could be going over 75 miles per hour or hurricane force. So if you live in areas like Des Moines, Peoria, Springfield, Hannibal, Jackson, Memphis, you need to be preparing now for a large-scale damaging wind event with with widespread wind damage in several locations. And looking at the hail threat is maintaining. Actually, the hail threat has increased to 30% across east central Iowa in the red area. Of quarter-size hail or larger within 25 miles of a location, a 15% hail risk in the yellow, 5% hail risk in the brown, and we got a significant hail risk in the hatched area, and some of these hailstones could be getting over 2 inches in diameter in areas of eastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin, northwestern Illinois. So make sure you have your car in the garage if you live in the red and hatched areas tomorrow. Now looking at the latest H2R model run, starting around noon Central Daylight Time tomorrow, we're going to be seeing some initial storms across southeastern Iowa. Now these are not going to be the big tornado producers. As we go into 1 and 2 o'clock, this multicellular storm cluster is going to spread into northwestern Illinois and southeastern Iowa. But the storms down across Arkansas, southeast Missouri, these are going to be the storms to worry about, as we're going to be seeing a very favorable environment for tornadoes across central northeast Arkansas, southeastern Missouri. As early as 3 o'clock tomorrow, going into 4, we're going to be seeing our storms across Iowa initiate. Very large hail could be falling at first from these storms around 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time tomorrow afternoon. We could be seeing supercells in the St. Louis area, southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas, long-track, strong, violent tornadoes will be possible. Now, if the cells can stay close enough together, we can maybe avoid some of the more stronger tornadoes, as the cells will be competing for energy. So hopefully we can get the scenario where these cells move closer together, but still will likely see tornadoes from them. Going into 5 o'clock, we're going to be seeing strong storms across eastern Iowa, with more supercells developing across northwestern Illinois. By 6 o'clock, could be producing very large hail across northern Illinois. And those go into 6 and 7 o'clock. Look at these discrete supercells just west of Chicago. Very dangerous tornado threat here as well between about 5 and 7 o'clock p.m. Very, very large hail is going to be likely with these storms as well. And we're going to be seeing a lot of kidney bean shaped storms across eastern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, indicating that strong wind shear, supercells, possibly several tornadoes ongoing. Going into 8 o'clock, we're going to see the storms become linearized as they move into Chicago and Milwaukee, with a lot of supercells ongoing across Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. Going into 9 o'clock, still having those kidney bean shaped storms across Indiana. We're going to be seeing a lot of damaging winds as well. Going into 10 o'clock, very strong damaging wind lines pushing into Michigan. Lots of damaging winds across central Kentucky. Scattered tornadoes are still going to be likely, even as we go into 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Strong to severe storms pushing across central Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio. And finally, as we go into around midnight and 1 a.m., the tornado and severe threat overall is going to diminish. Now, taking a look at the latest significant tornado parameter values. Let me see what these look like. The 18ZHRRR run is still going to be showing dangerous significant tornado parameters, especially as we go into 4 o'clock across central northern Missouri, eastern Iowa, southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, between 5 and 9. And as we go into 5 o'clock, the tornado threat is going to exponentially increase as we see these significant tornado parameters ramp up to between 6 and 10 from central northeast Arkansas through southeastern Missouri, much of Illinois, eastern Iowa, into 6 o'clock. Look at how dangerous the tornado parameter is across northern Illinois. We're seeing values between 10 and 15, widespread values between 7 and 10 in the rest of the red, pink, purple, and blue area. Very dangerous tornado threat going into central Illinois. By 7 o'clock, southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, Chicago, 7 significant tornado parameter. By tomorrow, around 7 o'clock, going into 8 o'clock, we're still going to be dealing with a very dangerous tornado threat across central southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, northeast Arkansas, pushing into Kentucky by 9 and 10 o'clock. And then as we go into 11 o'clock, our tornado threat's going to thankfully die down. Now looking at the NAM-NEST model, for looking at another model for significant tornado parameters, noon, we're already going to be seeing very high significant tornado parameters between 4 and 8 across western, central Missouri, and Arkansas. Going into 1 and 2 o'clock, the significant tornado parameters are going to explode across northern Missouri, southeastern Iowa, and central Arkansas. Going into 3 and 4 o'clock, we're going to be seeing significant tornado parameters across that 15% tornado risk between 7 and 10, with isolated locations up to 11. Very dangerous tornado threat across southeastern Iowa, northeastern Missouri, western Illinois. By 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, going into 5 and 6 o'clock, Arkansas, southeast Missouri, significant tornado parameters between 4 and 9, going into 7 o'clock, southeast the Boot Heel, Missouri, near Jonesboro, Arkansas, under the gun for significant tornadoes. Going into 8 o'clock, seeing some more 10s, some more 9s and 10s across the Boot Heel, Missouri, going into 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. The tornado threat will finally die down in the Nam Nest by around 11 o'clock as well. Now I'm going to be showing you some soundings that I took to get an idea of just how volatile the atmosphere is looking across the area for tomorrow. Looking at a sounding from North Missouri, we got a very large and curved hodograph. We got the PDS tornado signature. We got service to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity of 330, service to 1 kilometer shear of 38 knots, service to 6 kilometer shear 94 knots. All these parameters are conducive for strong to violent tornadoes. Even the Cape is over 3,000 now. Looking at a sounding from North Arkansas. North Arkansas, we got a large curved hodograph as well. PDS tornado signature. We got service to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity of 298 meters squared seconds squared. Service to 1 kilometer wind shear of 40 knots. Service to 8 kilometer wind shear of 80 knots. Surface base Cape of 2482. Also very favorable for strong to violent tornadoes across northern Arkansas tomorrow. Going into southeastern Iowa, I took the sounding from southeastern Iowa. We got an even larger hodograph. We got the PDS tornado signature there as well. We got service to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity of 388, almost 400. Shear at 36 knots, service to 1 kilometer. Service to 6 kilometer shear is at 80 knots. In southeastern Iowa, the Cape is at 2,057. And then looking at southeastern Missouri, we got a ginormous hodograph there, very curved, indicating very high amounts of directional wind shear. Got the PDS tornado signature for strong to violent tornadoes. And then we got service to 1 kilometer storm relative helicity of almost 500. Very, very dangerous values of directional shear across southeastern Missouri. Even the speed shear is approaching 50 knots. It's 91 knots of service to 6 kilometer wind shear, and the Cape is at 1626. So all parameters are looking very dangerous for a large-scale dangerous tornado outbreak across southeastern Iowa, northeastern Missouri, northwest and north central Illinois, northeast Arkansas, the Boot Heel, Missouri, western Tennessee, and northwestern Mississippi tomorrow. So if you live, especially in the 15 and 10% tornado risk areas tomorrow, you need to have a tornado shelter plan in place, as we're going to be seeing the likelihood of a few violent tornadoes and several tornadoes overall in the red, yellow area, even in the brown area. Don't let your guard down, because we could still be seeing tornadoes in the brown and even green area tomorrow. And the damaging wind threat. Don't overlook this either. We could be seeing significant damaging wind problems across portions of Iowa, northeastern Missouri, northwestern Illinois, across the pink-red area, and especially hatched areas. So thanks for watching this evening's briefing on tomorrow's significant severe weather and tornado threat. Please stay safe tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, my friends.